This is the HomeTech Podcast for Friday, August 15th from Sarasota, Florida. I'm Seth Johnson.
From Reynoldsburg, Ohio, I'm TJ Huddleston.
And from Pickering, Ontario, I'm Gavin Campbell.
And welcome to the HomeTech Podcast, a podcast all about home technology, home automation, and CES, right? I think we agreed. I might be coming to CES with you guys.
We agreed you might be coming. I don't think that's how agreeing works, but Seth is supposedly coming, but we don't really know yet. So
I think it's going to happen. I think
if you're going to go, you should write in and tell Seth he should go.
Yeah. The gang is getting back together.
It's going to be a fun time in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas is probably a bunch of nerds looking at electronics. It's probably what's going to happen in Vegas.
All right, that's what we'll tell our wives.
Yeah.
A lot of ayahuasca at the convention center. Is that what tech nerds do? I thought so. That's what I hear on the news.
I don't know. This is like the one where they show off all the stuff that never exists. So I don't know.
I'm excited for it. I've never been to CES. I've always wanted to go to CES.
Same.
Nicole is coming as well. She's always wanted to go to CES. So this is going to be a fun show. I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome. If Nicole's going to be there, then I'm definitely in. So
yeah, I mean she has more of a fun time than I do. So.
Exactly.
She picks on me a little too much, you know. I get intimidated when she's around, you know.
Can't really blame her though, to be honest.
I don't know why.
Easy to pick on, Gavin.
I don't know. I'm a big target.
You're a nice guy. You know, it's that Canadian in you.
Yeah, Nicole takes advantage of that.
But yeah, we will be there from the 4th through the 9th. So I think it's 1 or 2 days before the show. So we'll be there pretty much the whole week. I'm going to leave the 9th, which I think is a Friday. I don't know anything about CES, but I feel like for most trade shows, you can just go for the first two, maybe even 3 days, and that's all you need to go. Nobody wants to be there on the last day or two.
Yeah. CES is supposedly pretty big though, so you might have to like run around to different sections. I don't know if I think it's like organized too. Like there's certain groups of vendors that congregate, I guess, in certain areas. So like if you just want to go look at TVs, they're in some big giant hall over there. But if you're looking for the smart home stuff, it may be all over here, and audio stuff's all over there. This other one, I think that's the way it's organized. I don't know. I'm like you guys. I've never been. I've kind of wanted to go in the past. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like. I like the little small booths, and this is like one of those shows that is famous for all the little small booths full of product that's weird. Mm-hmm. So that I'm excited about that. I'm definitely excited about that.
What do we think is going to be the most popular thing at CES, or what everybody's going to be talking about? I guess
AI.
Is it going to be AI?
It's got to be AI. Yeah.
Nah, soil sensors.
Oh man, could be a big year for soil sensors.
AI in your soil.
There is a company advertising a Kickstarter right now for AI soil sensors. So
well, then they're going to be.
Oh, there already is one out. There already is one out.
Are they called? If they were called Soil Sensor AI, you would know, but they're not. They're not doing a good job. They just need to rename their company to that.
GeoDrops. They make soil sensors and they have AI built in, and it's got subscription. But I mean, who wants to pay a subscription for a soil sensor?
AI world is going crazy right now because all the new models, like there's a Chad number 5 out now, Chad version 5.
Made a lot of people mad with that one.
Oh, yeah. They're all upset. They can't talk to Chad number 4. They wanted to talk to Chad number 4. They went in one day and all of a sudden Chad 5 is out. And they're like, who's Chad 5? And Chad 5 doesn't talk like Chad 4. And they're like, Chad 4 was my therapist and Chad 5 is not. So, yeah, they're really upset with that. I don't get it. It's like virtually works the same to me, but I don't know. Maybe I don't use the chat part of ChatGPT. I use the API stuff, which just still can target the old. I think you can still target most of the old things on the API side of things. So interesting stuff going on there in the AI world, though. I'm glad I'm not really mixed up in that too much because what a whirlwind. Each week comes and goes, and there's just seems like there's a huge story about something going on, and then like I think everybody here knows it's a bubble, right? Like. It's not a real thing.
I don't think it's a bubble, no.
It's not a real thing, though,
in our
right?
enterprise, it's getting huge push. They're investing lots of money. And to be honest...
You're describing a bubble!
No. Well, yeah, I guess so. But
it's a bubble.
The hype train is there. So yeah, I guess it's a bubble. It'll pop at some point. It's just a cycle. So they're gonna do all this AI stuff, let go a bunch of people, and then realize it really sucks.
Yeah.
And have to hire people back again, and it's a cycle. We go through this
at half the price. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that the AI stuff that they're like the big models that everybody talks about, like Chad 5 and all that stuff, how much they cost and everything. And there are models out there that cost lots more, like to run. And you can spend, where did I see this? There's a dashboard somewhere of all of people that have like how much they've spent on like vibe coding. Man, I wish I could find it. I'll look for it and try and put it into the thing. But it's got like all of their numbers at the top, and people spend like tens of thousands of dollars on running these AI models to do their work. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not going to be too much longer until it costs a few $100,000 a year to run.
But the way I look at AI is it's not perfect. I understand. Like it gives me back code sometimes that doesn't work. Actually, a lot of time that doesn't work or has bugs in it and stuff. But you know what? The code it spit back was like 80% there, and it did it in a couple minutes. Something that I would have taken hours to do, right? And I appreciate, and I look at it like that. And remember, we're very early with this AI. It's only supposed to be getting better from here. Unfortunately, they're training it with Reddit data at some point. So, I mean, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get more, it'll probably get more dumb. But
well, no. So
at least it's dumb faster,
What I don't think a lot of people understand is like the thing that makes these large language models so it's impressive, or like how it's a random number generator. They put in a bunch of words and they tokenize and blah blah blah. There's a bunch of math involved, and then the random word generator basically is good enough to know that if it puts the word the next word is going to be something else, and it's statistically probable that it's going to be this word, and that's it. Like does it really fast, and we don't know the difference when it spits out what it spits out, right? But all that work is done. Like those models are free, and it doesn't have to learn anything. And so what you're seeing now, like especially on the like the coding side, is that all these tools that are getting developed. Like I've been installing a bunch of MCP servers, which aren't anything impressive. Like they're super easy to make your own MCP server. What is that? What does it mean? Like an MCP server is almost like an API, and think of it like as like the way they design these servers as like a USB port for your AI code thing. So like you just can plug it in USB style, and then it knows how to look up some other information. So there's one for Home Assistant, right? So like if I want to code against the Home Assistant API, somebody went out there and made an MCP server for it, and I can tell whatever I'm using, hey, go out there and grab off this API. Here's the MCP server. Go out and grab what the lights are in this room, and it does it. Like it codes it up, and it can do it. And it can give you that feedback and generate all this stuff. So it's really impressive that like these tools are kind of getting like parts and pieces together. Yeah. And I think in a couple more years, once they figure out how those tools are all supposed to work together, a little bit better, I think it'll start taking off. But man, it's dumping everything into it right now it's bad.
and other things I've kind of seen with it, like I don't know if this is being done yet. I haven't really done the full research on it, to be honest, but the smaller models, so having a model that's small but really good at one specific thing, right? Like if you had a Home Assistant model, it wouldn't know anything about sports, but it's really good at Home Assistant stuff, right?
It's already been trained on that. Yeah.
So you have a bunch of these smaller models. So when you ask a question, it's almost going to call in all the models it needs to answer that question and spit out a more accurate, better answer because you have a bunch of experts now in a room talking about it. So I think they're starting to go a little that way because right now I think the model is just one thing that knows everything, right?
Well, right. So the big mega ones that cost a lot and run on these server computers and farms and stuff, those have to be trained like on a ton of stuff, and you'll see them represented in tokens. So there's like so many billion tokens and this, that, and the other. But the small ones are starting to get small enough where they'll run on your phone. And even some of the big news last week was like Chad GPT was like, hey, we got this. They're even getting into this too because I think they've realized that the small ones are just as good. They answer just as well as the big ones do. And I think everybody's realizing like, oh, we don't need to run these super expensive models out in the cloud.
Yes.
We can run this on, I think right now everybody's targeting like the Mac Studio or a Mac M4, Mac M80. Like that's a few $1,000s for that machine. And you put a little small thing on there and yeah, it gets stuff right. Like, I don't know, 90% of the time, but so does ChatGPT. You're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for that every year. No, you just get a couple of decent sized servers and video cards in them, plug it in, amortize that over 3 years or whatever, $10,000. And it's a business expense like any other server that you're hooking up in your business. I think that's gonna be the future. So it's all getting smaller. Like even Apple is focusing on like the small models that answer correctly, and they're trying to put it on your phone where it can just do this stuff on your phone. I think that's really where it's going to be nice and have a nice little sweet spot for things for most people. There'll still be those big ones that need to be run for whatever, but people, if they have those needs, they'll pay for them. What a mess though. Like everybody is trying to get in on this train. Like you said, the enterprise is throwing money left and right. Every business has to say they have a AI and like to survive and get like, there's a story where I guess I will not cover it, but there's a story about D-Tools getting $12 million from John Heyman, the CEO or whatever. Like that one is like, they talked about, they founded a company that's just investing in companies that do AI. It's like, well, we need to say HomeTech does AI, and then maybe John Heyman will give us some money.
Yeah, we do AI.
Yeah, we talk about AI all the time.
We got gas. I mean, that's AI right there.
That's it. I'm going to go register that domain now and put it in the bucket of domains that I'm paying way too much for now. And yeah, we'll get some investments from that Snap CEO guy.
Why not? Okay, so gas.ai is available, but you have to put a minimum offer of $100,000.
Do they take Bitcoin?
Probably.
All right, I'll transfer some.
It's like, what, 2 Bitcoin now?
In pesos?
I think it's like 1 Bitcoin now.
I think I had a Gavin as a service domain. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of investments.
Wait. How can we move on from that? No, hold on. How are you registering domains under my, this is me.
You can register a domain for anything, Gavin.
Your what is it? Your personality belongs to the podcast or something?
Yeah. You're a celebrity now.
That's
I'm
right.
taking my personality back. I'm going to be playing Gavin now.
I mean, TJ's Cock Squeezers. I have that one.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean,
that's definitely a domain we need to keep paying for.
Yeah.
All right. It's worth it. It actually comes up in August 19th.
Picture of me on a ladder, aimed suspiciously at my crotch.
All right, now we can move on. With the show.
I think our $2 billion ideas. One, Gavin as a service for sure. The other one, the router hats.
I was going to say router hats, obviously.
Router hats, yeah. So we'll get those up and going one of these days.
Router hats would obviously be a business, so.
Yeah, Etsy. All right. Let's move on here. Speaking of business and investment, Insteon. That's a company we haven't heard from in a long time, but they're out making news right now. There's a story over in The Verge and a podcast attached to it. How Insteon came back from the dead. They're insisting they're not dead, and they're not. They're right because the website's still running and they're still selling product. And you guys are telling me on this podcast. There's one of our friends was on there talking about Insteon.
Oh,
yeah, Richard Gunther was on there. He was he wasn't talking about Insteon. He was just talking about lighting control in general.
Okay.
Yeah, so I gave it a listen. I listen to the Vergecast every week. I think it's a decent podcast. I'm not a fan of the host change up because everybody's on paternity leave, whatever it is. But Richard was on the show. They talked about lighting design and how to pick lighting automation devices and kind of best practices and that kind of thing. Not really the lighting design, but basically the technology behind automating your lighting. So it was good to hear from Richard. Go give it a listen. It's actually a pretty good episode, and you get to listen to the CEO of Insteon talk about him getting the company and kind of what that looked like and everything as well.
And not going out of business, getting it back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he kind of like single-handedly was like, no, we got to turn this thing around. And seems like he did it because I'm on their website now. It looks beautiful. Their website looks amazing. And honestly, their products look awesome. I'm not going to lie. They have some of the best looking DIY lighting, like real looking, like this would actually exist in my house product on the market.
Yeah.
It does look nice. That dual outlet's pretty nice looking too. I mean, you see that thing.
Yeah, their stuff is pretty affordable too. So
Exactly.
$60 for an in-wall outlet. I mean, that's kind of crazy. So
$60 for a paddle dimmer. They've got the knob one, the i3 dial. Remember that thing? Yeah, you can use that. There are other dimmers that look suspiciously like Lutron dimmers. Let's see, it's $60 as well. So yeah, great prices on these.
Yeah, I kind of addressed the issue. I think this is going to be a thing going into probably the next 5 years of home automation. They kind of addressed the need for smart home companies to come up with some kind of recurring revenue. Nobody likes to hear that because you just want to buy a device and that's it. But at the end of the day, these companies are not going to be able to survive unless they're doing some kind of recurring monthly revenue for something. And specifically, he pointed out, is able to make products and stuff like that, but because they weren't like putting any money into the app itself, it kind of just fell by the side, and it was just an awful app. And so with that money they're able to do from that they're raising from the subscription now, they're able to put that back into the app and actually make like a good, decent app. And that, I think that's just a reckoning that we have to have with these types of devices, is that we can't always just pay once for these devices if we expect software support for them in the long run. It's a little different when you have like a Zigbee or Z-Wave device, right? Because it kind of just works with whatever hub, and there's not really much support you have to do, minus occasional firmware update or something. But when you want to use like a manufacturer's app to control your lights when you're away from home, that costs money somewhere, and you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Counterpoint on this would be, these are light switches in my house, and I just want to control them with whatever this Insteon dual mesh protocol is, right? Like, it should just work with that, and it shouldn't require an update. If if it's secure today, it should be secure tomorrow. Maybe there's an update down the road that I need to do, but you know what? Like, at some point, I'm not going to care. Counterpoint would be, price the products correctly. But I guess nobody wants to pay for things these days. They would rather pay $60 instead of $100. Like, if these were $100 dimmers, do you think they'd still have that same problem? Probably not. They're charging $60 for them and making a lot less margin and saying, well, we have to charge you $10 a month or whatever it is for their app subscription that you really don't need to control your lights with, right?
Well, that's kind of what they pointed out too, is that you don't necessarily need their hub in order to control their stuff as well. So you don't have to do the subscription at all if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think that the reason a lot of the people had problems is they were using the hub, right? And the hub had to like authorize, or the hub, worked like every other hub in the world. Like it talks out to a server to talk to your phone in the same room to program the devices, because that's where all the device updates and firmwares and stuff or something. I don't know. That's just how things work. And they work better that way because you can't build a hub that can update itself. It has to talk to something. That makes sense. I think that if they had the problem with Insteon is they were a legacy company, right? They've been around for a long time. And then this whole like smart home revolution came in, and Insteon's like, hey, we've been doing this for a long time. And everybody's like, yeah, we don't care. And people were like, we just want to go on Amazon and buy a light dimmer for $30, right? Insteon looked like it was extremely high priced at that point. I had seen them for a long time. They didn't have some of the features that you would think that a lighting control company would have. And they were being outpriced left and right by the competitors. And then lo and behold, they couldn't keep updating their products because everybody's looking for something fresh, and Insteon's sitting there with an old looking product, an old looking app, and a hub that doesn't talk with HomeKit, right? I think that's kind of what undid them. I don't know. If Insteon had, if the protocol that they're using, this dual mesh protocol, right? It seems kind of cool. It's like a power line plus RF frequency radio thing. If there's nothing holding that back from just like, hey, communicate with a local device with a local API from whatever your control system is to that endpoint, right? And it just communicates out like any other like Matter Bridge or anything like that. Like, why do they need to charge any more money to stay in business? Have two prices, like an unlock price, like a price for your. I think they just should price their equipment appropriately, and they probably wouldn't have that same financial problems if it's compelling enough.
Something you said, like, I haven't looked at their devices in a long time, and I'm just browsing their site, and they do have some really nice looking devices. You're right. And
Probably the nicest one that I've seen on the DIY side, honestly.
One of the things that was really cool is you can buy button sets for the keypad and swap out the keypad with engraved buttons. So, and that's really, a nice customization I wish I could have on my Innovellis.
Yeah, I gotta say, these look better than some of the professional switches I've installed. I don't know how they feel. I remember some of the wall keypads way back in the day. The previous version of these felt and looked kind of cheap. These look a lot better, honestly, especially the I series.
They look really nice.
Look at the I series. I mean, I think that was the Nokia, whatever you want to call it, collaboration. That's an $80 keypad. I would pay $80 for that keypad. It's gorgeous. So, I mean, look at that thing. The dimmers, the paddle dimmers, it's got the knob dimmer thing on that series as well. They're just as good looking, and probably, I mean, I don't know. I think that's worth an $80 dimmer. And honestly, like I said, this is probably some of the best looking DIY product on the market right now. And from what I understand, I mean, Richard always saying high praises around Insteon, right? Like it does work. It's not like a troublesome protocol that has had issues with growing up matter and or issues with somehow having range issues or mesh issues. Zigbee Z-Wave. So yeah, I don't know. This is a very mature system with some really good looking products. I'd be tempted to use it. We have some feedback in the mailbag we're not going to cover, but they said they were using one of those ISY, I think it was ISY. You remember those, Gavin? Have you ever run across those ISY's controllers?
No.
It was like a home controller that actually spoke Insteon protocol or something, and people use it to connect to the Insteon system rather than using their hub. I think it was ISY, but I don't know. I'd rather have a first party Insteon controller that didn't need a subscription and could just talk to the Home Assistant or Control 4 or whatever that home automation controller I want would be. So I don't know. I don't know what to say to these guys. I just think that subscriptions don't seem like they're the way forward. But TJ, I think you're right. I think I just have to get over it. And
I think it depends on what it is, right? I mean, if it's just like a hardware device that you just want to use with like another hub, then I don't think there should be any subscription. But if you're using like some other, like Home Assistant's a good example, right? Home Assistant you can use locally. There's no monthly fee. There's nothing you have to do with it. You don't have to give them any money at all. But if you want to, you can access it remotely, and you give them $7 a month to do that, right? And I think that's all you need. You don't have to make it anything too crazy. You have to pay for the server somehow, though. I mean, it's all people want all these new features, and they want these updates, and there's
cost involved for sure.
And the way that he was basically describing it, and I think this is a good analogy, is that it's kind of like a pyramid scheme, because you're hoping that you're going to keep selling more and more devices to keep the lights on. And what happens if you don't? And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah, I mean, at some point, the cost of the server is going to outrun what you're bringing in. Hopefully that's not the case. But if there's no way around that. I mean, the Amazon bill comes every month, no matter what, and all the other stuff that's attached to it. And I've been in that situation where I had to push out a software update to people so they would just get off the server, right? Like, leave me alone. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But it's not a fun thing to do. But sometimes you have to slow rate. You have to rate limit things down. You have to slow the reporting. You have to figure out how to push things back so that the server costs. But guess what? That costs money too. Like all the development time that it takes to figure all that out, to break a working system and make it cost less, that costs money as well. So yeah, I agree with that. That's a great analogy. Pyramid scheme. Amazon's right at the top. All right. Well, let's move on here, guys. We'll put a link to the story over at The Verge, and then I promise I will listen. I always listen to everybody's podcast. Gavin goes on other podcasts, talks about me over there. I heard you guys talking about me. I'm never
talking about
I'm
you.
never going to be on that podcast.
You never will be, you know.
You told him I don't finish projects, and he's like, yeah.
Well,
I heard him.
You probably
He was
only started the podcast and didn't even finish listening to it too, right?
I complete them. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be on the. I'm not going to be the average guy's podcasting anytime soon. I get it. It's okay.
You did get invited. I guess,
Jim really says he wants you on the home.
I was trying to tell him he doesn't, but
yeah, he wants you on. But I just said if you want a show of incomplete projects, that's fine.
Well, I'll go listen to this podcast, prove you wrong one day. See, and then I'll check that out. But yeah, you guys are on every podcast right now. What's going on? You guys,
I don't know. For some reason, I've been getting invited to a lot of podcasts.
TJ's on the Home Assistant podcast now.
Yeah, I was on there. That launched this week. I recorded that like a month ago. You know, they did something right though. They recorded at like 9:00 in the morning, and I'm full of energy. You know, Gavin noticed that I was a little more chipper than I normally am. You know, like right now we're recording the show. It's 10:00 at night. It's normally my bedtime. So you know, I'm a little more chipper on the Home Assistant podcast. So go give it a listen.
If you want to hear a chipper TJ and not a drunk TJ, or a very, very sleepy TJ, go on and we'll put a link to the Home Assistant podcast in there too, and you can listen to him there. I guess this is a shout out too for Apollo, our friends over at Apollo. They've become an official Home Assistant distributor, and this is huge news, not for America because, you know, America basically Home Assistant is free. But Canada, there's other issues with taxes and import duties and all that stuff. I learned that the hard way when I sent Gavin a box and it cost $60, and then the post office lost it, brought it back to my house, dropped it off all damaged, and I had to like repack it and send it to him with UPS at another $60 rate, and they actually got it to you, but
eventually.
Yeah.
But no,
what's going on with Apollo?
No, they're you said they're now a distributor for Nabucasa and Home Assistant devices, and I only want to mention this because Canada, it's hard. Every time Home Assistant announce something, they go through these US companies, and the shipping out of them just to get them to Canada is just ridiculous. Like we're always left out. Well, now that Apollo's on there, we can order it and it gets shipped in Canada. We don't have to pay all the duties and everything. So yeah, that's some excitement.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we're gonna talk about a couple of those Home Assistant products here soon because there's some news this week with Home Assistant. So what do you guys say? We've got a couple of HomeTech headlines. We're gonna abbreviate some of these because I think we have to at this point. But what do you say we jump in?
Let's do it.
All right, let's talk about the Home Assistant. Big Home Assistant news. This is crazy. Guys, they made a towel holder, paper towel holder. It's a Z-Wave antenna and a home controller. It's one device. It's not three things. This is one thing. Are you getting it? And it's Steve Jobs. So yeah, this is interesting. I guess Z-Wave is this is hilarious. Is like Z-Wave Reborn. Like they've been claiming that Z-Wave wasn't dead for a long time, and now we know why. They really wanted to make a classy looking paper towel holder for your house, and they have shoved a giant Z-Wave antenna into a paper towel holder, and they have made a new Z-Wave Home Assistant Connect. That's ZWA2, the ultimate way to connect Z-Wave devices to Home Assistant. There you go. Gavin, do you have one of these yet? Are you going to get one of these?
I don't need one. I really don't want to buy one. I don't need one. Maybe. So it's really cool when you watch the video. Like I laughed at when I first saw it, I laughed at the shape and everything. And there's going to be jokes about this all over the place. I think it's going to get killed with jokes. But after watching the video, I understand after seeing all the technical specifications and stuff, I understand why it's shaped the way it is. And their main goal is they wanted the best Z-Wave controller out there. And it makes sense what they're doing. It looks really exciting. And if you're in the market for a Z-Wave controller, I would highly say just go grab this. Just, go for it. If you're going to upgrade your Z-Wave, grab this because it's probably going to be better than anything out there. I can't say it hasn't been tested, as much as something like my Zeus controller that I currently have. I know I'm running pretty well, but Yeah, this is impressive.
Well, most of the time, I would say for most people out there that aren't Gavin, who haven't explored this interesting world of PoE, Z-Wave, ZigBee controllers, right? Most people are familiar with these little devices, the little ZigBee, the little dongles, the little USB is like a little USB memory stick, and that's your Z-Wave. That's your gateway to the Z-Wave world, right? This is the Zoo's
ZST39.
Yeah, 39 LR. I've got the long range model. I had no idea. There it is. So yeah, that's been sitting on my desk for probably a year and a half now.
that controller is solid. I mean, if you have one, go
next to this one.
Go check the firmware.
I use that one.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things, in terms of the size and the shape of the ZWA2, right? It was when Habitat back in the days was having a lot of Z-Wave issues, devices just dropping off, going slow. And one of the community members over there actually opened up his Habitat and threw bigger antennas in there and then documented everybody. And then they said, it's a huge difference once you have a bigger antenna on the box. So then Habitat eventually released a new model, and the new model came with bigger antennas to support bigger range and more reliability. So, Home Assistant came and said, hold my beer, I'm giving you an even bigger antenna. And now, so I expect good range out of this. And like I said, if you want to get into Z-Wave long range, I would say go with this antenna specifically, especially if you're going to do that, because it's more important that it's able to connect directly to this antenna with long range.
And so I just need to clear up a few things. First of all, it's not a home controller, but also, I mean, is it really not a paper towel holder?
It is a paper towel holder. It definitely is. I don't know if that will affect range, but
shouldn't.
It looks so perfect, and that would be easy to blend in.
I'm not seeing them write anything about. Did they say it was a paper towel holder?
No.
Okay, so I'm not imagining, like, I know we all thought it was a paper towel holder, but it's not, right?
I mean, it's officially not, but it is.
I really wish they put PoE in this, though. Like,
right?
I feel like that's the one thing, because the fact that it's USB still, right?
Correct, USB-C at least. So
yeah, USB-C, but that still needs to be plugged into a server if you have it in the basement. Like, it's not really like you could put this anywhere in your house, or does. I haven't fully looked in all the details. Like, if you plug it in somewhere, does it connect over Wi-Fi back or anything? Like, no.
Well, and it's like, I can't even use it. I mean, I could, but it would require some kind of rigging to use it in my setup, because my Z-Wave stick is currently on the top of my rack. But the problem is the top of my rack is about 6 to 12 inches to my ceiling. And so I literally could not stack this. Jimmy in the Slack channel that we just had on the podcast as well, he actually noted that if you turn it horizontal, it like flashes at you because it wants to be standing up.
Of course they would do that. It's the Home Assistant way. Yell at you if you did it wrong.
That's right. Hey, at least they let you know. They're like, this is not optimal.
I'm going to ban you from the forums if you do this one more time.
This is interesting, though, because it's always amazed me that like these Z-Wave hubs and stuff came in like the smallest little, flash drive size things. It's like when you get the tiny little flash drive and it's 256 gigabytes and you're like, this is crazy. You can fit this in there. But then they shove antennas in there and they expect it to talk like long range Z-Wave devices. That never seemed like it was going to work that well. So this being like purpose built basically for long range.
Yeah.
And they spent a lot of time talking about the long range capabilities and how far it goes and all this stuff. Maybe we will see some better adoption of long range, because we're not seeing a ton of stuff right now. But it does have the potential to be really good.
I'm upset for other reasons though. Like, really, this isn't a paper towel holder? Are you guys serious? Right. Like, this is
settle down, hot dog theme.
It's gonna wipe my dirty hot dog hands on the paper towel holder. I don't understand. They didn't have to make it look like this. I'm looking at like the board and everything. It's just an antenna that they stuck in there. Like you said, this is a big antenna. And like Gavin already said, bigger's better. Like that. Oh, they just need a bigger antenna. I just need this with a bigger antenna.
Kinda, yeah. Well,
why did you make it a paper towel holder?
They also wanted
that you can't use as a paper towel holder.
Yeah, they also wanted to pull the USB device further away from the computer too. So because they were talking about interference and stuff like that. So it makes sense. I mean, the PoE still, I wish it was PoE. I really wish it was.
Or even have the Wi-Fi backhaul. I know you probably don't want to introduce Wi-Fi to having problems on networking with Wi-Fi, but like have a Wi-Fi backhaul so you can just plug this in to the outlet in your kitchen, and then you can put the paper towel on.
Stop it, Seth.
Why would you want Wi-Fi with Z-Wave?
Yeah, exactly. The whole point.
I've seen a couple people suggest that as well. They're like, we need Wi-Fi with the Z-Wave hub. And I'm like, stop it. Why are you trying to make Z-Wave worse?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, I'm ready. I'm ready when they come to us. I'm ready. I've got my paper towels. I'll be ready.
I mean, you've spent more money on dumber things, so you might as well buy it.
You go for it, Seth. Go for it. It's only $69.
You have a $400 speaker
it's bigger.
Don't you?
I'm going to buy it, and I'm just going to put it behind me with as a paper towel holder. And my wife's going to be like, "Oh, you got a new paper towel holder." I'm like, "Yep, I did."
$69.
I'm not going to plug it into anything. It's going to get the power as much as the Zeus thing did. It's never going to get plugged in.
Yeah, see those smaller USB ones were, I don't think they were focused heavily on long range, but they also worked with the mesh.
Right.
So the long range still got you point to point, but the range is limited. But they worked great with the mesh, and I think that's the power with them. This antenna will be great if you want to go to the whole long range.
But what if you didn't want to do the long range? What if you wanted short range and a paper towel holder? That could have been a product. I'm just saying that I think it's a huge miss, and not having. And I know the Wi-Fi thing is whatever, but like I don't know. I really think this would have been a great paper towel holder.
I wish they released one with all the protocols in it. Like, give me Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Matter in one device.
And make it like 3 foot tall. I mean, I could just put it in the corner of my house.
Yeah, and make it a dual paper towel holder, if you want.
Well, they could have also put the controller in the bottom, right? And with the end, I guess you said they needed to move the radio board away from the controller somehow, I guess. Is that what the ask was? I haven't watched the presentation. But it seems like the board for the little Home Assistant controller, the base of this thing looks like the same size as the Home Assistant Yellow, which has all the Home Assistant parts and pieces that you need in it. Just stick the...
We'll see it. Once we get hands-on reviews and stuff going, we'll see. We'll check it out. Once you order it, you can do all the research for us.
The nice thing is that this is open source, so somebody will eventually make a PoE version. So we'll be on the lookout for it.
I had $79 from Apollo.
The heck, Apollo?
What are they doing? Yeah, they got $10 more. I don't know. I was kind of going to order some stuff from Apollo anyway. So, all right. Well, I'm going to get one of these. I'll get it in. I'll let you guys know how good of a paper towel holder it actually is. I feel like what a miss. What a miss. Anyway, the price is good though. Let's talk about the antennas that Gavin's been talking about. Are these the SM Lite, right? The I don't know what it is. It's basically a PoE dongle that you plug in, powers up with PoE. It's got an antenna on the other side, and that becomes like anywhere you have PoE in the house, you just plug that in, and now you have Z-Wave, Zigbee. You have everything. It seems like a great product, and they've got more. They've got an LED controller. Oh man, these guys. Now this is interesting. I bet these guys, if I wanted them, like, hey, can you make this into a paper towel holder? They could do it.
Oh, they could do it. Definitely. Yes.
PoE paper towel holder. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With millimeter wave, obviously.
Like they should get these guys to make their antenna. It would have been great. But the SM, this is the SM Lite devices. Serge emailed me earlier this week and let me know that they have some new devices coming. The SLZB MR1U. So basically this, if you're familiar with these devices, they're little PoE, they have Zigbee in them. They're working on a Zigbee Z-Wave combo. They can support Matter, Bluetooth. This is a little USB add-on that now you can plug any USB controller into it as well. So you can plug your Zeus one into it. And now that's a PoE controller. I think it does USB to TCP/IP pass through over the Ethernet. So now that's how you can get your Zigbee and Z-Wave PoE, is going through this device. Time
out. That's how you can get your paper towel holder on PoE.
There you go. And you'll have Zigbee at the same time. So
you get Zigbee at the same time.
I'm really excited to get my hands on one of these and see how like if I could just take my Z-Wave controller and move it over to this thing and it works, that would be awesome. Like I don't have to move devices or anything. Like I can't ask for anything more. So I will when I eventually get one, I'll report back.
All right, Seth, I know how we make this thing less ugly, and it's not paper towels, although that's a good call. We have a new business idea called antenna hats. And it's just hats.
Antenna socks.
That's right.
You keep your antennas warm. All right. Well, this SM Light company is really cool. They've got a bunch of cool stuff.
Yes.
On here, and you also sent over and posted is this a modular Ethernet PoE LED controller. Honestly, this is really cool because it basically has WLED running on it. You plug it in, PoE powers up, and it's got. I stepped away from the spec page, but it's got support for a 5-volt strip. Let's see, is it? You can do 12-volt LEDs as well. So 5-volt or 12-volt LED strips off this thing. You get 2 output ports for adjustable LEDs. So little digital ones. This is a smart little product. I like this. I was looking at trying to make one of these a long time ago for a company I was working for, and we were trying to figure out how to make it work with. I guess it works with 5 to 24 volts, so you could use with anything here. That's really cool. We were trying to figure out how to do this, and here it is. It's working right here.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And a little fun fact: this company, these devices is being built out of the Ukraine.
Nice.
So,
Now you're giving me more stuff to buy for no reason because I can't finish any projects anyway. But I want one of these.
Go for it.
I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know what I would do with it, but I'm going to get it because it sounds amazing. I love PoE and I love LED adjustable lights and WLED. I don't really care for too much, but it works for what it is, and you can hook it up to talk to other protocols. So I do that a lot during the holiday season. I have WLED running on a bunch of little devices around the house, hooked up to the lights, and they all talk to each other. It's great. They just out of the box. You can just say, talk to this one, talk to that one, control this with ArtNet, good to go. And yeah, it really works well. So WLED, check it out. But we'll put links to this. This is fun. This will be really fun. Oh, it's got a microphone in it too. So you can hook it up to the the sound input on WLED, which doesn't work all that great, I'll be honest. But at least it does something, and it can dance to the music when you play music. The Christmas music comes on. The whole house. You can actually plug it in and have the whole house dancing to it because it all syncs. That's what's great about it. All right. Anyway, we'll move on. Apollo, we mentioned them. They also have a new button, a macro deck. This is basically a 3-button keyboard, right? 4-button keyboard that you can get. You can plug it in. It runs over ESP Home, and it basically just gives you a couple buttons to press. And I think this is a great little product.
Yeah, it looks like a little baby Stream Deck. Physical.
Not Stream Deck. It's got buttons on it. Yeah, it's got like real buttons, right?
Yeah, it's like a piece of a keyboard.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of these exist out in the world. These are like pretty popular for some reason for like programmers or something, because I've seen a lot of the keyboard things that they exist on like Alibaba and all that kind of thing. They're out there. But this one's expandable too. You can put e-ink displays on it, NFC readers, rotary dials if you want. So there you go.
And they're hot swappable key switches as well. So you can put in whatever switch you want.
Exactly. That's really cool. Cherry MX switches. Is that something I'm supposed to know?
It's just like a standard switch.
Oh, okay.
It's a safe bet.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, then that's perfect. You can get the keys from anywhere then. My keyboard says it's an MX thing, right?
I was gonna say that's what you'll mostly see, especially in like some commercial environments and stuff. Like remember like the old type register or the cash registers with the giant keyboards and stuff like that. Almost all of those had Cherry MX switches.
Oh, okay. Well, I like those. All right. Cool. Well, Apollo, we've got the SM Light, we've got the paper towel holder. I mean, the Home Assistant. Let's talk about DJI. Introducing a robot vacuum into the U.S. market right before they get banned from shipping anything into the country. RoboMaster S7 coming out soon. I guess it's their entry into the home cleaning market. Instead of making drones, they're going to make vacuum drones, and they'll go vacuum your house. And I got to say, DJI makes some of the most interesting and best products I've ever put my hands on. This is probably a really good vacuum. Like I guarantee it's going to be like a premium vacuum. It's not going to be garbage because I have the little microphone thingies that they have. They're amazing. They're a little small, just so well put together. I have one of their drones. Amazing. It's years old, and it's still amazing. So a vacuum cleaner made by somebody who knows how to make little small devices and put smarts into them, probably going to be amazing.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's kind of weird though, right? Because everybody else is getting into robot lawnmowers at this point, and DJI is like, "Hey, we should make a vacuum."
Yeah,
seems like a couple years late in my opinion, but
$654. They think it'll be here because it's that much in China. I don't know. I think it'll be an all right vacuum. I think it really will be. We'll see. The images on the Verge here are interesting. They have like a transparent dock and a transparent vacuum, so you can see like the back of a watch. You know, the watches with the glass back, so you can see what's going on inside of them. That's what it looks like.
I don't like that idea though, because I feel like it's just gonna get dirty, right? It's not gonna look good after a while.
It's definitely not gonna look good.
His job is to literally pick up dirt. I don't think it should be a clear object, but
maybe you want to see inside. Well, I mean, Dyson made a lot of money doing that, so maybe they're onto something.
That's true, I guess.
All right. Well, very cool. All right. So we've got a series of Sonos stories. I don't want to cover them all. They say Sonos has voice control that's going to be compatible with Philips Hue. Okay, that's cool. Sonos speakers are getting pricier because of tariffs. Okay, we knew that was coming. All the Sonos products in my house, I hope they work. I haven't tested them in a bit, but they're basically not going to get firmware updates anymore. They're going to get feature locked and not advanced anymore. There's an interesting chart over, I think somebody put on Reddit or something, that shows a bunch of the models, like when they got gen locked out. Starting with S1, S2, and now there's like an S2.5 chart that they've written with all the new stuff on it, stuff that I don't own. And then Sonos Roam speakers are overheating and partially melting, the company admits, which is a headline over at 9to5Mac, which basically says, there's been reports of overheating Sonos Roam speakers, and Sonos acknowledged a very low number of complaints from customers, saying that the brand's first generation Roam speaker would overheat and partially melt near the USB-C port. So not so great news for Tom to deal with on his first week on the job, but
yeah,
here we are.
And you know what sucks is it's a small percentage of numbers, but I have a Sonos Roam, and now every time I walk by this thing, I just head it just to see if it's a little warm or something like that.
It's gonna catch on fire.
But it makes you a little nervous still, right? Like,
yeah,
it's a small number, but
I wouldn't keep that at my house.
Keep it outside.
Plug it in at the neighbor's house.
Yeah, here, I'm going to give you this. All right. Yeah, TJ, if you don't like your neighbors, give them a Sonos Roam.
Oh. The crazy neighbors are supposedly fixing up their house right now, so maybe I should wait till after they fix it up.
That'll be fun.
Here's a housewarming gift.
Warming, literally. All right. Eufy is got a new smart lock on the market. It's the family lock. It has a digital peephole that can unlock.
Digital peephole. It's got a camera with a live feed. That's what it has.
It sounds so wrong. It's a digital peephole. That's what it says, though. That's what they want to call it. I'll call it that.
Could they just conserve battery by just putting like an actual peephole?
It integrates a camera into the system with a smart lock that has a few drawbacks. It features a 2K resolution camera, fingerprint reader, and a numeric keypad for unlocking your front door. It's built-in camera. The picture over here on the Verge is so absurd because it's like a review. This thing's $400. The picture, it's basically, okay, they've got a door with windows in it on the side, on the transom on the side, right? Whatever that's called. And then they had to open the door so that you didn't quite notice that they had the door with the windows in it, and take a picture of this thing on their door so it wasn't so dumb looking. Like, because as soon as you walk up to this door, people are going to see you. I don't get this one. $400 doesn't look very good, and the features don't look that great either. So
yeah, this thing is very ugly. I'm not a fan. It's honestly, the thing is, I can see a use case for this type of product, right? Because there's a lot of houses in general that do not have doorbells. And if you don't have a doorbell, you have to rely on a battery doorbell anyway. And a lot of times people have a smart lock next to it. So I get the appeal of combining them into one unit. I don't think this is the answer though. And especially if it looks like this.
I would never look there to ring somebody's doorbell. I'd be like, oh, they don't have a doorbell.
Right. I mean, at least they made it obvious, right? They put like a giant bell on it and they put a little light around it. So I mean, it is pretty obvious. Not foolproof, but this have any of you used the palm vein recognition or just like palm detection in general for like anything?
Sounds dirty. No.
I don't. It seems like a weird thing to me, and especially like this. This looks awkward where they're kind of just like holding their hand up over the lock. I'm not a fan of that, but I also just use pins for my smart locks. So I guess I'm just old school like that.
Well, it has the digital peephole, the good and the bad on this review here. It says the digital peephole is good. It's useful. Palm unlock is fast. Subscription fees for video lock supports matter. Your facial recognition with the home-based product that they have that can tag along to it. The bad, it's very expensive. Nighttime video is not great. No package detection, and the home-based is required for smart alerts. So $400 is quite expensive for this, but it is a lock. It is a doorbell all in one. And I guess if you think about it that way, if you want a smart lock and you want a doorbell that would, like you said, had to be mounted next to it somewhere, this is probably a pretty good option.
Yeah, basically the same cost at the end of the day, right? Because the smart lock is automatically $200 unless you go for like a car or something like that. And then a video doorbell is a similar price range, so you're spending a little bit more for it to be all in one. But if you really, that little tiny little digital peephole screen, it's so tiny, Seth. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could pair it with their smart display E10, which is $200. And put that next to your door instead.
It says I put it right next to the window.
That way somebody can see what you can see.
Yeah, just have that. Yeah, well, what you should do with it is put it outside, right? Like at Walmart, when you walk up and you look up and the cameras up there looking at you, it would be just like that, except all Eufy. In-store security cameras.
Not a fan.
TJ, not going to get this one. I'm picking up. So, all right. Well, maybe here's something that TJ will get. Oh no, Gavin will have to get this because it's got PoE. The Ring Outdoor Cam Plus with power over Ethernet. It's now available for $200 over on Amazon. Probably $600 Canadian or something for you, Gavin. I'm sorry. But yeah, new option, a PoE option for the Ring Outdoor Cam, a 2K little outside cam. These generation of rings, they just don't look like outdoor cameras to me, but it is what it is. It's a good option. Good option if you need to install a Ring camera.
And you have a PoE drop.
Yeah, if you're replacing like an old IP camera or something like that, and you want to get into the Ring ecosystem and use that, then this is an option for $200. It's not bad.
I don't want to sound extreme or anything, but I feel like if you're going to come out with a PoE camera, it should have continuous recording, right? I feel like it's just one of those things that you almost always get with a PoE camera. And as far as I can tell, this camera does not support the continuous recording that Ring has on like 4 different cameras. That seems like a weird omission.
They may have it with the alarm. Remember they had that alarm integration thing?
But I thought it was only specific cameras, though. At the time, it was only like 2 cameras. I mean, it wasn't that many. And granted, they don't make any many PoE cameras anyway, but this is kind of like a weird thing to me that you'd come out with this PoE camera, but it's only motion. That's it. And for $200.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. People like the rings. They're a thing.
They do.
Yeah. They have a whole ecosystem too. So if you're really in the Ring ecosystem, a while back they were able to like use OnVIF cameras. They were able to like bring those into their little ecosystem, at a cost or whatever. So maybe this is well, I don't like those OnVIF. I want it to be a Ring camera. You can just swap it out and replace it with this too. So they're trying to build out their ecosystem. It does work over Wi-Fi as well. So. If your PoE is just power and not Ethernet, then you can hook it up with Wi-Fi. I'm not seeing where it's compatible with that alarm product. So maybe you're right, DJ.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, Ring is kind of weird. I'm going to go throw that one out there. Amazon is ending support for a bunch of third-party connections, third-party skills, I guess. SingLED is one of them. There's an article over at The Verge again about SingLED's downfall. Since they relied on so much Amazon voice control, when Amazon ended some of the skills they had, then the LEDs, plugs, switches, and sensors stopped kind of working, and your voice and routines are no longer available. But yeah, I think that this kind of goes along to what we were talking about earlier with the pyramid scheme. Amazon's at the top, and if you don't keep selling everything, you can't pay for their servers or keep up with their system or pay developers to update your app. So there you go. All right, moving on. All the links and topics we discussed tonight can be found over on our show notes at HomeTech.fm/538. Nothing in the mailbag this week. We do have a pick of the week. Another entry from our Automator of the Month from last month. It's Greg, and Greg has done the impossible. He's created a Home Assistant integrated pool pump monitor, I guess is what it should be.
It's a pool filter
pressure sensor thing.
Yeah.
Does it to know when to change your filter or something?
When you have a filter and it gets dirty, the pressure starts to build up in it, and you have a gauge on there that tells you, like if it reaches a certain point, you have to do a backwash of the pool and stuff to clean out the filter. And I've always wanted one of these sensors to just, I could check it remotely. Like right now, I have to walk outside, go to the pool, check it. I'd like to get the sensor, and Greg did it. And I'm so jealous.
He's right there.
So he's our Automator of the Week.
Month. He's in the month. He gets the whole month because these will come out next month and it'll be fine.
He's just the permanent Automator.
He's been busy. He's been busy lately. The light thing, now this.
I think he's having fun now. It feels like he's having some fun now.
He's using ESP Home to basically build this. He said he worked with Chad over there. To basically make a configuration, which isn't too hard. And it looks like there was some back and forth between Greg and Greg, Greg 1 and Greg 2, about how to basically there's a way that you can have ESP Home take in a couple of different readings and then give them a moving average, and some so you don't like get weird readings out of it, which can happen because ESP Home will just read it as much as you tell it, like every 5 seconds. And then, but if you don't have like an average on that, like a moving average, then there may be like an outlier at some point and you'll just get this wild reading. And then Gavin will be like, I gotta go change the filter pump now. And that's not a good thing when it's really just fine. It was just something that happened to the sensor. So there were some things going back and forth and on how to make it a little bit better. And it looks like that's all done now. So here's what Greg's put together so far. He's done the LED strip controller. He's done a DIY millimeter wave sensor. He's done a fireplace relay controller, and now he's got the pool filter pressure gauge. So congratulations, Greg. You're Automator of the Month again. Ding, ding, ding.
Woo!
Yay.
Woo! Save some automations for the rest of us.
I know, right? Jeez, come on. If you have any feedback, questions, ideas, show projects, maybe you want to send us picks of the weeks, anything, give us a shout. Email address is feedback@HomeTech.fm, or you can head on over to HomeTech.fm/feedback and fill out the online form. All right, project updates. But first, we've got some Home Assistant updates. 2025.8 is out, and Gavin was talking some noise with the show. He's like, I bet you didn't update. I said, I bet I did, and I had already updated. So, Gavin.
I usually save the updates for the show live.
I made a mistake the other night. I was like, what's in here? And I clicked the button on accident and it updated last night. So, and then the app went offline and I was like, well, whatever I was going to do, I'm not going to be able to do for a minute. So I never went back and looked at it. So I assume that it's updated and working.
All right. Well, good assumption. We'll go with that. But yes, 2025.8 was released a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to highlight some of the things I found interesting, but you can read the article for everything. And there is a lot in this article, even though, like as you dig down into some of the more wordier sections, I guess you could say, you will find little nuggets in there that are really good. But some of the things that some of the things that, stood out to me was the new AI task integration. So now you can interact with your AI and automations and stuff, so it's pretty much a new action. And you just tell it what you want to ask the AI and it will get the response, and then you can act on that in your automation. Pretty cool. They added suggest with AI button. So when you're creating automations and stuff, there's a little button, it will suggest and it will automatically fill out things like tags or areas or the name of the automation based on what you've created. That's pretty cool. Probably something I wouldn't utilize because I have a naming convention I'd want to follow. They did some improvements to the areas dashboard. You can now have the camera displayed on the area card, which is something I was looking forward to. You can control individual members of a group. So if you have a group in Home Assistant and you group like 5 lights, before, you click the group, it turns all the lights on and off. Well, now you can click on the card, I guess, and it expands and it shows you each individual one, and you can then control which one, or you can adjust as needed or turn on and off the one you want, etc. This would
Can you disable that? Because I don't like. I just want it to be a group and control.
Well, no, and it will work as a group. So if you click on the group, it'll turn on or all off as you want, right? This just allows you to also edit it. But I like this too because if you create a group of like all the lights in the room, on your dashboard it would be cleaner because you'll just see one. But then if you want to control individual ones, you could just click on the tile and open it up and then edit like the how you want. So pretty cool feature for helping clean up things.
Yeah, it's like at the bottom, like you scroll down, there's little extra things there on the card. Yeah,
so pretty cool.
I guess it could be handy. I don't want that there. I want to actually turn that off because maybe it's a setting. I'll go look.
Can't please everybody.
I know, right? Don't give me features, Home Assistant.
So those are just some of the things. They did hint at something bigger they were working on for next release, so keep an eye on that. Also, make sure you read about the breaking changes. I had people ping me about this, as soon as they upgraded, that their Unify integration broke. And that happened to me right away. And, quick little search, found out that they did some changes how that it's working with the new Unify API, but you'll need to update. It needs to update to it, get a key. And the easiest way to fix this was just to go into Unify, give the user that you use to connect it super admin rights, then restart the integration. It will generate the key and everything it needs. And then you can go back and lower that user back down to regular rights and you're back in business. So it's a pretty easy fix. Just keep an eye on that. Something that broke in my setup in the Zigbee to MQTT update recently was the buttons. I think they changed the default behavior of the actions entities with buttons or something like that. So once I figured that out, I had to rewrite some of my automations to now work with the new way they do the buttons. So just keep an eye on that if you use Zigbee to MQTT. And yeah, like I said, read the notes. There's a lot more in there. Like if you work with templates or you like to create the helpers and stuff like that, there's a lot in there. So enjoy.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to read any breaking updates. I'm just going to do it, and then I'm going to complain to you, Gavin.
YOLO.
That's right.
Yeah. What's disappointing about the maybe this is something they can add in for the next 2025 update that I update to. So like I was looking at our settings there, and they've got a setting for hide members of the group, right? So I've already hidden them. And I guess it just doesn't either respect that, or that's for just hiding the other entities, which is all I want to do.
I think that just applies the hidden field, or it kind of takes the entity out in like a hidden way. It's not going to hide it from that group pull down, I don't think.
Yeah. I kind of want it. I mean, I guess I would prefer it that all those are grouped together for a specific reason. And I understand having it there if I wanted to change the lights that are in the same fixture, but
yeah,
I don't. I want them to be the same. And I don't want this extra UI on here.
But yeah, you're right. If you click hide members, it should hide it in there. Like I guess that's a feature request, or I'll give Paulus a call and tell him, hey, Seth isn't happy.
It actually, I think it is a bug because it says there's a visible toggle. It says hidden entities will not be available on auto-populated dashboards. So I think it must be a bug.
Reboot your computer.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. No, that
Seth is part of never reboot gang.
No, I had to do that the other day, and a bunch of stuff doesn't work now. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's the problem that you have with Home Assistant is every time they update, then it breaks everything you have. And so now they're doing it to me, and I thought I wasn't doing anything special with Home Assistant, and so there we go. Yeah, cool stuff. And the AI stuff that they're talking about, like this is going to be the AI summer. It's going to be AI summer, which it's admittedly in here. I was reading the notes. It says, people are probably don't want this in their system. No, people will want this in their system, especially if you can start running this stuff locally, which it looks like they're really hammering on, like how you can run one of these locally. They're turning on streaming APIs, so you can stream text to speech over to an LLM, and that'll make responses a little bit faster. So that's a good thing. Like all these little improvements they're making, they're all iterative, and hopefully over time we'll start seeing those Home Assistant voice things working better, because they don't work all that great. takes a while for them to understand what you say.
They get better. Right. They're getting better.
Yeah. It's going to take some time. So cool. Projects. You guys want me to go first? Because I guess it applies to Home Assistant and why I'm kind of upset that they messed up my lights. Yeah. So like I installed about a year and a half, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember, but a long time ago, I installed some toe-kick lights in the kitchen, and I just like stuck some lights on there that I had, and I soldered on the ends and everything. Well, there they sat for a very long time, and I had a whole box of these Shelly RGBWs to like hook up to them, in a 4-pack. And time goes on, things happen. I probably had a kid in that amount. I don't know, something like who knows what happened. It's been a long time since those have been under there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hook those things up because I had some other work to do on some of the other ones in the kitchen. I've not liked the Shelly RGB2 software that Shelly has on that. And I think I talked about this in the past. Like I was using there's a way that you can reflash Shelly devices with ESP Home. And with ESP Home, you can do all sorts of stuff. Like you can just give it a configuration that you want it to work with, as long as the device can do what that configuration is asking for, right? So there have been reports for people flashing it with ESP Home. I was able to flash it with ESP Home, and then there's a place where you can actually go in and write like C code, like to do more special things to run like in the firmware itself. So like I did all sorts of like tricked out things, and I was like, you know what, this is great. I'm gonna hook up. I'm gonna make right now on the Shelly device. If you were to get this, and you had like an RGBW light, right, which is what it is, RGBW2. That's what it says, RGBW. You can't control the RGB and the W at the same time. Like it just separates them out in Home Assistant, and it doesn't combine them together. And in Shelly, where there should be a way that you can combine the lights together, where you can do like warm dimming and what is it called, adaptive lighting, it doesn't exist in the Shelly firmware. So I wrote that in, and I hooked it up, and everything was working fine on the RGBW lights. And at the same time, I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, well, I like doing this enough. I'm going to go ahead and hook up the Shelly RGB2 to my toe-kick lights I've never hooked up. The thing is, I installed toe-kick lights so long ago. What I did was I installed they've got the 2 LEDs on them. They got the warm LED and they've got the cool LED. So it's like cool white, warm white, I guess. Shelly doesn't support that either. So I ended up flashing all of my Shellys and overwriting them and having the ability to like control them normally, control like a warm dimming, which you can do with ESP Home. It's fine. I don't like them. They look bad.
All that work and all that waiting just to determine you didn't like them. It's because you went with regular LEDs, didn't you?
I turned them on, and I'm like, I don't like them, and they're too bright, and I probably just need to take them out and put something else in, and I don't know what that's going to be. But yeah, I did all that work, all that flashing, all that firmware updates, all these things. It's not. I turned it on, and I'm like, I'm never going to turn this on again. I turned it on. My wife has walked around. She's like, I don't really like that. I'm like, I don't either. So I have to figure something else out. I think what I'm going to do, I saw some examples of people who installed like a single LED instead of a strip LED and spaced them out every so many feet, and it had like a nice little look to it. So I might go down that path rather than doing the strip light. If I did strip light again, I don't know. I got to figure out how to make it a lot dimmer. I want it to be like a nice little light that you walk in and at night, and it could turn on, and you'd have enough light to not stub your toe on some chair or something that my daughter left in the middle of the floor. No, this thing turns on at 1%, and it's just like I can't turn it any brighter. Like it's too bright already in the daytime. So I 100% is ridiculous, and I think that the LED strips that I had were spec'd incorrectly, or I installed the wrong ones. No idea. It was years ago when I put it in. Now I've got these bright ass LEDs working properly, and I just don't like them. So I'm going to take them out. And it's time to start over. It's time to start over and try again. So any suggestions on toe kick lighting, how to make the correct, I've got to get some channel strips too. These were installed, like I just slapped them on up there like any good DIY person would. And I need to get some channels and some lens and put them underneath there too. So, heat dissipation works and all that good stuff. But really wasn't the focus. I didn't even want that. I just wanted a little night light, and I don't have that now. I have a very bright light at night. It's so bright. I think I took a picture during the day for you guys, but I'm gonna take it. I think I took a picture at night too. I'll send it over to you guys. You can see how bright this stupid thing is.
Yeah, when I did mine, I put them in. I did cob LED lighting, so it doesn't really have the diffusing need. But I put them in diffusers anyway because I figured the kitchen's going to be a gross place in the grand scheme of things, and I just take the cover off and wipe it down, and that's it. So I'm kind of glad I did that. Makes it a little easier to maintain and clean up.
That would be a smart idea. Yeah,
I'll send you the ones I bought, Seth. You can buy too many, just like I did, and figure out where else you can install them.
TJ, ask yourself: Does Seth not have cob LEDs sitting right next to him?
No, I was talking about the diffusers. You said.
Okay, the diffusers. Yeah, I don't have those.
Yeah.
There's 3 spools of cob LED right there.
Yeah, well, you got the same problem I do. Just cob LED strips everywhere. And you're like, what am I going to use these for?
I got so much LED strip lights. Oh, man.
They're so cheap now, though. I mean, like, the ones I buy, it's 17 foot for $20. It's so cheap.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's 3,000 to 6,000 K. So, I mean, you can just put these things anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Just not under your cabinets. Jeez. Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture and you can laugh at this. So that's my story. That was pretty much all I got done. I did buy this is going to take significantly longer to do, but my closet of forbidden closet of mystery. The fan. It's got a rack inside of it with the computers and all that stuff, and a printer which gets really hot. That the fan. I put a fan in the ceiling to make the air evacuate out, and it died. It's not working anymore, and it's really hot in there. The forbidden closet of mystery. So I have to leave the door cracked, and I don't like that. I'd rather have the fan pulling the hot air out and pushing it back over into other parts of the. I haven't piped back into the air return, so it's pushing the air into that, and then when the air is on, the air conditioner is actually on, then it sucks air through there without the fan running, which is good, I guess. But I ended up buying one of these Grow fans. It's a Grow fan. And I get the nice little wind on there. It probably won't show up on the show, but it's from AC Infinity, and it's got a nice little button thing where you can toggle how much. It's been sitting under my desk. Long story short, these are really good desk fans. If you want a very quiet fan to sit into your desk and move a lot of air, I will endorse AC Infinity and probably any other Grow fan out there. They're very quiet, and they just sit there and blow nice cool air under your desk if you need it. That's my projects.
And what great projects they are, Seth.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got nothing done.
Once again, you got a bunch of stuff started.
You followed up on a year-old project. I think that's
I know.
fine.
I was really hoping I could finish that off and then get to that Vinahood I've been meaning to fix.
There you go.
Well, what'd you get into, Gavin?
Oh, this week has been a fun week. So first up, I got this is some 3D printing talk for those that have 3D printers, but I got my Sunlu Fila Dryer SP2 delivered this week. I pre-ordered this one a long time ago. I actually forgot about it.
Is it a paper towel holder? What the heck?
No. But it allows you to dry up to 2 spools at once. But on top of that,
okay.
You can also use the bin that you dry it in as a storage container. So it has humidity sensor in there, and you could totally seal it off and even print directly from in there. So it's a pretty cool device. If you're looking for a nice dryer, this one's actually pretty good. It's made by Sunlu. It's the Fila Dryer SP2. They also have a few other models, I think, that hold 4 and stuff like that. But I like that this one lets you print directly from in there, so I don't have to rebag them, or I could just leave a couple in there.
I've been seeing a bunch of bamboo minis or something like
printers?
That on on the Facebooks
Bamboo
for
Lab.
sale these days, and some of them Bamboo Lab Mini something one, I don't remember what it is. They're not bad price, but some of them have that dryer thing. I was wondering what that was. I assumed that was a Florida thing, but it sounds like you have to have it too.
Oh no, your filament will absorb water out of the air, and you'll have to dry.
I mean, you pretty much just store them in water here.
And even in my house, you have to you have to dry it, or else your prints come out messy. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty common.
Yeah, it's a known thing. Whenever people have bad prints, the first thing people say is, do you dry out your filament? So I have a couple dryers, and I just throw it in there. It dries for about 6 hours, and then I print. But this is a nice one.
I did not know that. That's making my that's lessening my 3D printer dreams, which aren't that much, but closer to they were before. Even less now because I don't want to.
You don't want to have.
I don't want to deal with this.
In Florida, you'll probably have to constantly deal. But you see, with this, you can actually dry it, but in the same container, it comes off the dryer, and then you seal it up, and then now you can store it in that same container, and as a little tube
while it's drying.
Well, no, after it's dried, it's already dry. Now it's staying in a sealed container, so it stays dry. It doesn't.
But no, that's not here. No,
but this is a sealed container. Unless your moisture is going to get through the plastic,
Have you been to Florida?
Yeah, I have.
All right. Yeah, no, I mean that sounds really cool though.
Do they have 3D printers in Florida? How will you guys survive with that in Florida?
People have them; they're selling them. So I'm just like, yeah. I mean,
for a reason.
Turns out, yeah,
you need one. That's trade your horn for an AI 3D printer.
Exactly.
All right, we've talked too much about this. Let's move on. All right, I'm gonna give my final update on Project OnlyFan.
All right, you did a lot of research on OnlyFans, so I want to know what happened. This is a
project I've been doing a lot of research on for the last number of weeks, trying to figure out the right combination that met all my needs, and I finally finished the project. It's installed, and it actually works so much better than I was expecting. So what I ended up getting was the Innovelli Blue Zigbee light switch. Then I got the Innovelli Blue canopy module, which goes up into the fan canopy. And I got a Hunter, I can't remember the exact one, but it's a fan that is AC fan, not a DC fan, an AC fan. So you can control the light and the fan separately.
Nice and quiet.
It's quiet, etc. Right? So then what I did then was I installed the light and everything, and then you paired it with Zigbee bindings to the canopy module. So the paddle on the switch controls the light like a regular dimmer, right? You could dim up, you could dim down. That's, everything you want. And then the config button on the switch toggles through the speeds of the fan, right? So and that's all configurable however you want it, right? They have when it comes to Zigbee, entities on a device, I think Innovelli is probably one of the ones with the most entities. They have like 100 entities or more on it, but it works really well. So now the way it's set up, I just press the paddle and the light works like a normal light. I press the button, it toggles through the speeds of the fan, and I can control everything through the voice assistant too. So I could turn on the light, I could turn on the fan. That's it. If I wanted to add extra controls, I can buy an extra paddle and throw it by the bed if I wanted to, and that would just trigger whatever it needs to trigger. There's so much more you can do, but it works really well. And for those thinking of about doing something like this, like going in from my switch to the light fixture, I only had one electrical wire, right? So sometimes when you have fans, you'll have two electrical wires to control them individually. Well, that's the role of the canopy module. Now it takes that one electrical wire, but splits it off into the two. So now you get individual control of the light and of the fan itself. So it works beautifully. I have no complaints. Wife loves it.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter if you liked it, but how does the wife like it?
She loves it. And with bindings, it's been reliable because I've been rebooting my server and stuff throughout the day, but it always works.
Nice.
Now, so I highly recommend it. It actually turned out better than I thought it would in terms of functionality and stuff. So, that's my update on my Project OnlyFan.
Well, I'm sure you're sad to see that one end.
I was so sad, but I'm now thinking of getting another one. So I'll start
another fan,
Project OnlyFan 2. Well, I guess I would have OnlyFans at that point.
Yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of money on this.
It was already. At least it's not a subscription service.
It's pay per use. Yeah, exactly.
It could be worse.
But it works really nice. If any listeners have questions or anything like that, they can, where to find us.
Gas.ai.
No.
Well, no. My bad.
DJ says you've been busy here.
Yeah, I've got a couple things. More garden talk. I might be joining another podcast talking about the smart garden here in a couple weeks too, but we'll talk about that in a month whenever it comes out.
Wait, how do all these podcasts get a month to edit, and I get for not editing a show in like 5 days? We're gonna switch to the month. It will be like we'll get a show out in the month.
All right. Well, we're not even going to get into that because not even.
If we give you 2 weeks, you'll take a month.
Yeah, right.
And if you give me a month,
No
I'll take
time is
6.
enough, right.
We'll be competing with Richard before too long.
Well, and they tell us, before we go on the show too. They're like, oh, this is not good. Like when I went on the Home Assistant podcast, they're like, this is not going to air until like August, and I was like, August? That's like a month away from now. You guys plan stuff out that far? Because we don't.
Oh, see, that's the problem. I'm not going to plan that far out. I'm just going to take what we have and like edit it and put it in. When I can get to it, I'm going to edit it and put it all together.
I was 3 months out when they recorded with me. I was like, man, by the time that gets out, the news is old.
Right. I'm not even going to know what I talked about at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this week I've been doing some more garden stuff. We've been getting a lot more stuff from the garden. We got a cantaloupe yesterday. I've got a ton of peppers. I've got a basket of peppers I've got to dehydrate. And my corn, I think my corn is like 8 foot tall now. I don't think I'm going to get any corn this year though, because the squirrels keep stealing my corn. And I put up these little, like those like anti-homeless spikes they put on like benches and stuff. It's really for like pigeons and stuff too, I'm sure. But really to keep homeless people off your bench. I put those on my fence line because the squirrels kept coming into on my fence to eat all my corn, and it took the squirrels, like, I'm not even kidding, like 24 hours to figure out how to bypass the spikes.
They're way too smart. Yeah.
They just walk very slowly on
on top of the spikes.
Right. They just walk right on, just very slowly. They're just like, take my time walking on this thing, and they just walk right over it. So I don't think I'll get much corn. But we have been getting some stuff. We've gotten some tomatoes and peppers and a bunch of other things. So here in the next month is probably when a lot of this stuff is going to start actually being ready. And we'll get to harvest it and do things with it. I'm excited though because the peppers we are turning into pepper flakes, and so I eat a lot of pizza, and I've always wanted to make my own pepper flakes. And so that's what I'm doing. I bought a dehydrator many years ago. I think maybe Nicole got it for my Christmas or birthday, something like that. And we use that to dehydrate things all the time. So the only thing with peppers is that you have to dehydrate them outside unless you want to gas yourself inside your house. We did this with Scotch bonnet peppers a couple weeks ago, and Scotch bonnet peppers are pretty spicy. And we had the dehydrator set up outside. And it was definitely needed because the air was spicy outside. Hopefully none of the neighbors were outside. They'd be like, what is this smell? It smelled amazing, though, so it was well worth it.
So Farmer TJ, you got to set up a squirrel obstacle course, and take the Aclara camera and put it up
camera,
there.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Set it up so we can see the action.
No, I need that like Sentinel gun camera thing that we talked about on the show like a month ago, where you just like shoot things. So I need to shoot the squirrels. It needs AI though, so it doesn't shoot me. But also when talking about the smart garden, I've been having some weird issues. I've been using these, and it's only probably for this year because I'm gonna have Gavin help me figure out like actual lawn irrigation controllers and stuff like that, because that's kind of what I need to go to next year. But this year I've been using Sonoff Zigbee hose timers, and they work fine. I haven't had any issues with them until recently. Dun dun dun. And I got a call from the neighbor the other day, the neighbor I like, and he said, hey, you might want to look in your yard because for some reason there's a lot of water coming from your yard. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Turns out my drip irrigation for one of my garden beds was stuck on for like 3 days. I have an automation that it automatically shuts off all of the hose timers 15 minutes after I turn them on. And so no matter what, if I turn them on 15 minutes after I turn them on, they turn off. For some reason, I got stuck, and it would not turn off at all from Home Assistant. I rebuilt the routes and did all that stuff, and it still would not control it. I went over to the hose timer and I just touched the physical button on it, and it turned it off. And then it was controllable with Home Assistant again. So I'm not really sure what that issue is.
But it takes one time, and you just don't want to deal with it again, right?
Yeah, right. And especially it's one of those things like if I go out of town or something, it's like I'm going to remember that. So, so yeah, that kind of stinks. But we'll see how the water bill is in a month or two whenever I get that, because it's a quarterly water bill, so you never really know until the very end.
And that's one of the issues I had when I was, planning out my whole integration with the watering. When it's an integration like that, I don't trust that Home Assistant will get the off command to it full time, right? With the Ratio integration though, you send basically like a command to say turn it on and how long you want it to run for in the zone, right? So the Ratio box itself will say, okay, run for 15 minutes, and it's much safer that way. Because if I then did that in Home Assistant, who knows if I rebooted my Home Assistant in the middle of it, or it crashed or whatever. The last thing you want is the valve being open, like in your case, for the 3 days. Same with my pool thing. It's the same. Anything important. I also add extra notifications sometimes. So when I'm filling the pool, it will message me every X minutes to say, hey, it's still running, just in case, I miss some.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And if I was going to use it for much longer, it's only going to be for another month. I would create some kind of automations to notify me if it was on past a certain time and all that stuff. But I'm not that really worried about it. I've already started cutting down on how many times it waters throughout the day, because in the morning it's really cold right now because it's starting to be fall. So not a huge concern this year, but it is something I need to think about next year.
But the scary part was that you couldn't remotely control it at all until you went to physically touch it. And that, to me, like if you weren't home, yes, you got the notification still running, but the fact that you can't even turn it off unless you turn off the whole house water or something like that remotely.
Well, I can't, unfortunately. And I would have to explain to the neighbor. I'd be like, hey, go to my house, and the far right hose timer, you're going to touch that one for me.
You could do is just put like another hose timer in front of it, and then that way you like maybe one goes bad.
Hose timer.
Yeah, which one goes bad first? I don't know. I mean, it's not 50-50 chance, but you get a little bit better, I guess. Because like, what if the first hose timer goes bad and the second one goes bad? Then you're in trouble. But probably less likely, I would think.
Yeah.
Use different brands, and then you're good to go. You can just shut them all off. That's my way of spending more money to solve the problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, but next year will be different, so it's fine. That's all the projects I have, though.
I'm looking on Facebook for these 3D printers that I'm supposed to find on here, and they're not here anymore. I guess they all got bought or whatever.
Buy a 3D printer, Seth. You need something to occupy your time. You have so much free time.
Right? You guys should see the massive solder station I have for another thing I'm doing. It's like all set up and ready to go. Turns out I'm blind. I can't see small things anymore. So I was like, don't you have a magnifying glass? I'm like, no. It's like, you should get one. I'm like, I'm not that old. She's like, you're blind. You should get one. I'm like, great. Yeah, I think that's it for this week, right? All right, we want to thank everybody listening to the show, but especially want to send some special thanks to those who are able to financially support the show through our Patreon page. If you don't know about the Patreon page, head on over to HomeTech.fm/support to learn how you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Any pledge over $5 gets you a big shout out here on the show, but every single pledge gets you an invite to our private Slack chat, the Hub, where you and other patrons can hang out with Automator of the Month, Greg Runyard, and ask him about his ESP home integration, because he's doing some amazing work in there.
Tell him to save some of the ladies for us, though. Jeez.
I know, right? I think this is the only way you can do it, honestly. Like, I don't know another way to talk to Greg, so this might be the only way you were able to talk to the Automator of the Month, but there you go. If you can't support the show financially, we just appreciate a 5-star review, positive rating on the podcast app of your choice. That's going to wrap another week here on HomeTech. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Till next time.
Take care.